You are listening to Thinkology's They Did It Their Way with me, Nicole Herbert Dean. Thinkology is a brand of books that teach language through stories. We also do business to business, meaning we create books that publish your brand and talk about you with you named as author. These books are published on Amazon and you can also find them on Google Play. Our ebooks are in Kindle format as well as we do have paperbacks. You can find us on Facebook at Thinkology Media as well as on Instagram under the word Thinkology. I do also sometimes foray into TikTok and Twitter under the same name, Thinkology. So listen to our podcast, which consists of interesting stories about interesting people. You are listening to an episode of Thinkology's They Did It Their Way. This is Nicole Herbert Dean, and I'm here to chat today with Lacey Braden. I met Lacey a few years ago at Parkville High School here in Baltimore, Maryland. Lacey is a math teacher in the high school, but she turned into a photographer soon after I met her. First of all, in her own words, she says she always meant to be an artist, but she never thought that there was any money to be made. And actually, paint was her preferred medium. So she decided to paint as a hobby and pursue psychology as a career. She graduated with her bachelor's in human development and worked as a behavior specialist for children and adolescents. A few years later, she ended up taking a teaching position and completing her master's degree in education, and then taught math for 10 years. So after about 8 years, she decided that teaching did not provide her the creative outlet she needed, and so she taught herself how to transform her photography hobby into a business. And once she gained the skills and confidence, she quit teaching and started running her business full-time. She now shoots everything from weddings to drag queens. She's currently working on a photojournalistic project, which we're going to talk about in this episode. And her goal is to have each person embrace their own version of beauty. Lacey is a beautiful person in and out. And she feels that everyone has been through some sort of tragedy or trauma. Even if you can't relate to the content specifically, you can relate to the underlying message of overcoming adversity. These are her own words. So let's talk with Lacey. Hi, Lacey.
Hey girl, how are you?
It's so good to hear your little cheerful voice. I remember that's how you always greeted me when I would pass you in the corridor at Parkville High School.
Yes.
That's a long ways away, right?
I know.
So how's your spring going? Thank God it is spring.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I'm due to have this baby on Tuesday.
Yes. Oh my
so we
gosh.
have, 5 days left.
She must be waiting to come out, the Braxton Hicks and everything.
Yes, and I am ready, girl.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. She's going to be looking as amazing as you.
I'm excited.
I'm sure oh my goodness. I was nervous and excited at the same time when I had Isabella. So I pray that the delivery is smooth and quick.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
That she pops right out quickly. Yes. So, but you must have been busy with, anyways, because it's spring and wedding season is coming up and
oh my gosh,
all sorts of things, right?
It's a lot, yes, but it's super fun. It's a great time. Okay. So I'm taking about 5 weeks off, and then I'm going to jump into weddings.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So let's scroll back a little bit to 2018 is when I met you. I go by years, and some of my friends actually make fun of me because I go literally, my life is broken down into years. But we met in 2018, and you were working still at Parkville,
Yes.
right? So tell
Mm-hmm.
me a little bit about that, and then we'll jump to how you, like, you, when you left, how did you start your photography and stuff?
Yes. All right. So it was literally in 2018. I had already been teaching for 8 years. I've been teaching high
Wow.
school math, and I was never really meant to be a teacher. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be an artist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I just didn't think there was money to be made. So I
I
was like,
get
well, I'll just
that.
go with a safe option.
Mm-hmm.
And after 8 years of a safe option, I loved what I did. I loved my colleagues. I loved the students, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't fulfill my personal need for creativity.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, I was sitting in the kitchen with my husband and I was having this existential crisis and I was like freaking out and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't think this is the trajectory for the rest of my career. And he
Right.
said, you know what? No worries. What are you going to do instead? I was like, I don't
Right.
know. So we brainstormed that whole night. We were brainstorming and we kind of landed on photography because there's so much opportunity.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, there is.
and so he said, well, hey, why don't I just buy you all this equipment that you need and then you just figure it out? And I was like, no problem. I got it. So he literally went out like the next day and bought me
Mhm.
all this amazing equipment. And then I was like, oh no, I actually
That's
have to do
awesome.
this now. I have to back it up. So
Mhm.
I was like freaking out. So the year of 2018 was my year of learning.
Okay.
And I am not a classically trained photographer by any means. I'm a YouTube trained photographer,
Hmm.
and which is really cool because you can teach yourself anything.
It is
Um,
cool. My daughter learns that way for her work.
yes,
Absolutely.
exactly. So I ended up just seeing people, and I'm like, "Oh, you're beautiful. Can I just take your picture? Oh, your dog's cute. Can I take its picture?
Yeah.
Anything, kids, your house, anything. Just let me just get something in front of my camera."
Hmm.
And every shoot that I would do, I would focus on a new skill, whether it
Hmm.
be a camera setting or posing or maybe in post-production and editing. And I would just focus on one specific skill so it wasn't overwhelming.
Hmm.
By
Hmm.
the end of that year, that school year,
Yeah.
I had jumped out of teaching, and that was the year COVID hit.
Yes.
And everything was on the going great, and then COVID shut it all down.
Right.
And so there were no shoots happening, there were no
Oh, wow.
things going on, so I was like, maybe it wasn't a great idea. But you know what, it was a fantastic idea. It all worked itself out, and it
Right.
gave me more of a time, like a little bit more downtime to still learn and
Yes.
figure out the business side of things.
Superb.
Yeah, and I just really
Superb.
utilized that time and really got the most out of it, and it was just
Hmm.
wonderful. Um, so yeah, so then I started running my business full time, and it
Right.
has just been fantastic.
I'm
Um,
sure. I'm
and now
I'm
I'm
sure it's
coupling it
exciting.
with teaching because
Oh,
I'm
really?
offering workshops
Oh my
local.
goodness, that's great.
Yeah, and that's been super fun because I do love the art of teaching. I just
Right.
didn't want to do it full time, but so I
Right.
love being able to incorporate that into my artistic passion.
Right.
So I shoot everything. I shoot everything from babies to families to weddings, graduation,
Right.
big events.
Right. Right.
Um, but what I'm really working on is my Untitled project.
Okay, so I want to talk about that. Let's talk about the Untitled project first, and then I will go back to the workshops, to end the segment. So we were talking about the Untitled project, which I totally fell in love with when I first saw it. So how did you start that, and why did you start that?
So I am actually a burn survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I was burned at 10 months old due to hot
Wow.
water. And so I'm burned on my legs and my feet. And it's
Oh.
something that is, it's what we call hidden scars because I can wear
Mm-hmm.
clothing, shoes to cover it up. And
Yes.
not many people really knew that
I didn't. Yeah.
that there was any kind of injury.
Right.
Um, and it's something I never really kind of disclose or talk about unless it's kind of necessary.
Right.
And Well, my daughter, she is 7 years old and
Mm-hmm.
she loves the water. She loves the pool. She loves the beach. And it just got to the point where she was like, Mommy, come get in the water with me. And which means that now I have to show my scars, which is something that
Right.
I've always kind of hidden. And I was
Right.
like, you know what? I have to get more comfortable with this. Like, I am far too
Yes.
old to be, worried about, something
Yes.
cosmetic.
Right. Right.
And so I said, you know what? I need some sort of like an exposure therapy where, like, the more you expose it, the easier it gets and the less, you know, stressful it is every time you
Right.
have to handle it.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I think I want to kind of couple this with my photography, and I'm going to do a series of self-portraits. And I didn't have
Oof.
my
Wow.
my overarching vision yet for this whole project. It was just a personal endeavor that I needed to go on.
That's so brave and so inspiring. Wow.
So I did this series of self-portraits featuring my scars.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just went to social media and I typed out like a blurb about it and said,
Yeah.
hey, this is me, this is what's going on here.
Mm.
And it was just so much easier than having to talk about it individually. I
Mm-hmm.
could just put it out there, knew everybody was going to see it, totally
Mm-hmm.
cool. And I didn't have to handle it on a one-to-one basis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and so immediately I got like an immediate overwhelming flood of responses, and they were all positive.
I can
And that was
imagine.
super helpful in that
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
that I expected people to be negative, but it was really beneficial to me in that process.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately I started thinking, wow, like it, if this helped me so much so fast, I know so many burn survivors in our community. Um, I would love to extend this to them and let them have
Wow.
this opportunity. So I started to pull from my personal resources of people that I knew. And
Okay.
my vision was I wanted males and females. I wanted everybody, all
Yes.
ages.
Right.
But what I found was when I reached out to the males, they were very closed off. They were like,
Really?
I have burns, I have scars, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, wow.
Whereas the females were like, yes, this would be amazing. This would help my self-esteem. This would help me be more confident. It's done in such a beautiful light. Even though the scars are not traditionally beautiful,
Yeah.
but we feature them as a new form and a new version of beauty.
But that's the whole thing. And I'm shocked that it's the women who actually
Right.
responded. So fabulous. I just love that turn in our thinking in society. I just love this pivot. I love it.
Absolutely. And I think the men are just kind of under the impression, well, I'm a man. I'm not supposed to be bothered by the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it turned into an all-female cast, and it has just been incredible. So long story short, I've gotten to meet women from all over the United States. They've flown in from Michigan, Florida. I've got women coming
Wow.
in next month from San Diego,
Wow.
all over. And it has just been phenomenal to be able to meet them and get to know them. And tell their stories. So the goal is to do a portrait series. So I
Okay.
do all of their portraits in black and white. So that way you're not distracted by
Mm-hmm.
what they're wearing, the coloring. You're really just focused on the the subject.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I collect their stories. So I spend time with them. I get to know them. And I tell their story. I write it out. Well, then my husband, he's a videographer. And so he's partnered with the project now. And he has
Wow.
started doing video interviews,
That's
which has
just
been
incredible.
phenomenal. Yes.
Yes.
So I
Wow.
interview them and they tell their story. And that has just been such an important piece to the puzzle because not only can you see the participant, but you can hear it from their voice,
Oh my
which is
goodness.
very
Yes.
powerful.
Yes, of course. And it's just amazing that these women, just like you, I'm with you're the inspiration, anyways, so brave to be able to go on camera. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and talk about this and oh my goodness, it's a whole new level of brave, I think.
It really is because it does require the participant to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And to show the scars that maybe they don't, readily show everyone, just kind of like myself,
Yeah.
where it's just sometimes it's easier just to not deal with it and just cover it up.
Yeah.
And then there's, the people that don't have hidden scars. They're on
Mm-hmm.
their face, their chest, their arms, their hands.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun because those are the people that seem to be further along in their processing of
Right.
the trauma because they
Right.
can't hide it. It is that
Yeah.
exposure therapy, and it they have to come to terms with it a lot faster.
Right. Right.
So it's been really cool
Right.
to just see where everybody's at in their recovery.
Right. Well, Lacey, I have to tell you this. So about 10, 10 years ago, yeah, actually in 2010, I had a friend of mine living with me who's from a Bollywood family. And
Mm-hmm.
she comes from a background where, which is Punjabi, which has, these arranged marriages and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
she and I were wanting to team up and do a whole series, a documentary on acid victims.
Yes,
Now
that is
that's
a
a,
huge
oh my
phenomenon, which is
goodness.
it's terrible,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's a
just,
huge phenomenon.
yeah. But that part, especially when you go into South and
Mm-hmm.
how they're of the acid attacks, there's so many complicated layers in even approaching the victim, and talking about it. Then you have to deal with the family and the society,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's why your project is so inspirational. And like I'm just amazed at it, and I'm following very closely, watching what you post. So now you're saying that there's a film that's coming out. Is your husband doing a film, a
Yes,
documentary, or
so we
something like
are
that?
we're doing the video interviews.
Okay.
And then we are also doing some behind the scenes filming.
Yeah.
So therefore we can put together, and it's nothing grand. It's nothing super exciting, but just really kind of just for us, really just the behind the scenes, what it
Oh,
took to put this whole thing together.
yeah.
So that way when the project is finished, which it's almost finished, Nick. So we
Yeah.
are about a little more than 2/3 of the way done.
Yeah.
I'm going to be wrapping up this phase of the project in August.
Okay.
And after August, I'm going to have my 30 participants completed.
Okay.
And then it goes into a book form.
I was about to
So,
ask. Wow.
yes. So the
Wow.
vision is for it to be like a coffee table book.
Right.
Where it has their portraits, it has
Mm-hmm.
their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then my vision is to push it into doctors' offices, plastic surgeons' offices, burn wards,
Superb.
where
Superb.
family members, loved ones are just sitting there and like dealing with this fresh trauma,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
able to pick something up that's beautiful and it is inspiring. And I don't focus on the tragedy, I focus on their triumph, and I focus on,
Absolutely. That's what I'm thinking about. Oh my gosh.
yes, like, well, look at these people. Yes, they've been through some stuff,
Yeah.
but look at what they're doing now. Like,
Yeah.
look how fantastic. Look at them. They're glowing. They're beautiful. They're thriving.
Yeah.
They're living their lives.
Yeah.
They have families. They have purpose.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my
and
goodness.
so their loved ones, while they're sitting in those waiting rooms, can have something inspiring to, latch on to.
Absolutely. What a great vision and goal you have, Lacey. I'm just very inspired by that. Really, really. So, okay. So coming back to the workshops now, are you doing, and I don't want to dismiss it. We'll come back. I'm going back and forth,
Sure.
even as
Yes.
my mind is, I'm, but so do you talk about like specific photography in your workshop, like what you just did, the project, the Untitled project, like when you're teaching, like, is there a difference to the way you photograph when you're doing something like as vulnerable and delicate as the Untitled project?
There's a huge difference. So what
Okay.
I'm teaching, because the Untitled Project is done in a studio,
Yes.
so it is it's a very different experience. So the workshops that I'm running are for new and intermediate photographers,
Okay.
and it's using natural light. It's not using studio light. I haven't delved into teaching any studio session workshops
Mm-hmm.
yet,
Mm-hmm.
um, or how to necessarily handle a very delicate situation such as this, I focus more on like families,
Okay.
more of
Okay.
like a lighthearted portraiture.
Okay. I think though, honestly, once your film comes out and the book comes out, it would be fantastic to learn
Mm-hmm.
from you how to even approach people about this,
That's
and
something I haven't thought of. That's a really good point.
oh yeah, I mean, because that, and that's what we faced when we started to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you even approach someone who has gone through such a horrifying experience, right? There's a whole knack and a technique to it, and like, you literally have to be so sensitive in
Absolutely.
even discussing it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tough subject to talk about, let alone to get someone to talk about it, show it in a
Mm-hmm.
photography and film. And that's why I feel what you have done is just simply amazing. I mean, I don't think you think it's that's that big of a deal, but I do think it's a huge deal, and so much good is coming from it. I can already see with the people you've already who are your subjects,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It's been fantastic. I think the key to people being ready to open up to me specifically dealing with my project is because I am a burn survivor.
Right.
And so I already have that immediate connection
Mm-hmm.
with them. And it's a
Right.
physical connection. Like they can see it, it's tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think when you do something with heart in it, you kind
Mm,
of have to
yes.
have something that is relatable within yourself
Mm-hmm.
to make people have that comfortability level.
Right. And it lends its authenticity to it.
It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which
Yes.
already sets it apart.
Right. Because people are like, well, why would you pick this subject matter? Like, it's
Right.
very specific.
Yes, it
And
is.
then so it gives me an opportunity to share my story.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, I totally get it now.
Yep. I love it. I absolutely love everything about it,
Thank you so
honestly.
much. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, just to end, like, talk a little bit about the workshops, where they're held, and how people can, contact you.
Absolutely. So I am in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So in Baltimore County, and I host them. As of right now, I've just been hosting them at my home.
Okay.
As they get bigger, I will, do an event space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's really fun because we do like a learning session, and then we
Yes.
do hands-on where we work with the camera settings. We
Okay.
learn about posing, we learn about composition, and then I
Okay.
always hire models, and so we
Okay.
go on a live shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get immediate feedback, and then we come back and we do some editing together, and it's
Superb.
been so fun.
I'm sure.
um, and in order to reach me and contact me there, you can always visit my website,
Okay.
which is Braden, Braden, my last name, event photography.
Okay.
um, and that's at zenfolio.com.
Okay. Okay.
And you can contact me on there with the contact link. You can
Okay.
see some of my you can see all of the Untitled Project and participants on there, and there's a blog to go along with it.
Superb.
Absolutely.
Any
And then you
social
can
media?
absolutely, yes, so you can find me on Facebook at Braden Event Photography,
Okay.
and then you can also find me on Instagram, which is BE for Braden Event, but
Yeah.
BE dot photography __.
Okay. And more details about this will be on the description of this podcast episode. So people listening can go there and find out how to find and follow Lacey and this amazing
Fantastic.
project. And I would really commend you for the work you're doing, honestly. And thank you. Thank you for being on this episode with me just to discuss it. I've always been curious about it, but
Yes.
and so this is the perfect opportunity to talk about it. Yeah,
Well, thank you for this platform. I really appreciate it. My goal is just
absolutely.
for as many people to see it as possible. And even if you don't have a connection to the burn world, which
Right.
most people don't, you can still find a connection because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has dealt with some sort of trauma or tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we're focusing on how to recover.
Absolutely. And that's so essential. I love that that's your focus. It's superb. It's absolutely superb. So I'm going to wrap this up and thank you for speaking with me today and for
Absolutely.
sharing your vision, sharing your goals, and more importantly, sharing your heart, which is huge.
Thank
you're,
you so much.
you're welcome.
It's
Well,
wonderful to talk to you.
I'm sure we'll be talking again once the film is done.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to it.
All right. Talk to you
All right.
soon.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. You have been listening to me talk with Lacey Braden about her photography business, her goals, and her vision for her career. Braden Event Photography can be found on Facebook as well as on Instagram. The Instagram handle is be.photography_. So follow Lacey to see where she takes this vision of hers, which I am so excited to watch as well. So for more information about us at Thinkology, follow us on Instagram at Thinkology as well as at Thinkology Media on Facebook. To know more, you can subscribe to our podcast on any platform that podcasts are found on. That includes Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and others. Write to us, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear from you. Till next time, goodbye.